Okay, you have your NFL Week 10 prediction. So I'm coming off another really solid week, but let's get to predicting. You have your first game, the Ravens versus the Bengals on Thursday Night Football. This one is going to be a very good game. I think it's going to be a shootout. Neither of these teams' defenses have played well at all. Um, Bengals defense has been terrible. The Ravens secondary has been terrible. However, I don't really trust Chase Brown for that Bengals offense. I think that Ravens offense is just more well-rounded with both Lamar in the passing game and Derrick Henry in the running game. And to me, the Bengals really only have Joe Burrow's arm to win them the game. And I gotta take the more well-rounded offense that has played better football this year. I'm gonna take the Ravens, especially with home field advantage. Then you have the Broncos versus the Chiefs. Until last year, the Chiefs completely dominated the Broncos. However, Broncos are coming off a terrible loss versus the Ravens. Their defense has showed some weaknesses versus the Ravens, and the Chiefs have looked a lot better. However, I just don't trust Bo Nix when it comes to playing a very good Chiefs defense. I'm going to take the Chiefs here, especially in Arrowhead with all that noise. You have the Colts versus the Bills. Bills, they played okay. They're 6-2 or something like that. However, their record I think is better than their play so far. The Colts 4-5. They're starting Joe Flacco again, I believe. Colts, they're just not very good team despite the 4-5 record. The Bills, it's gonna be tight because the Bills are gonna play down to their opponent. But Bills with Josh Allen, the better quarterback, the better defense, should get the win here, and James Cook as well. We have the Chargers versus the Titans. Titans sold, was selling during the trade deadline, while the Chargers, they've been solid. Chargers really haven't beat anybody good, but the Titans are not a good team. I do see that Chargers run game struggling a little bit versus that Titans defense, but that Titans offense is nothing, so I'm gonna take the Chargers here. Then you have the Bears versus the Patriots. Ooh, this one could be an upset game for the Patriots here. Drake May has looked really good so far. For the most part, he's still throwing too many interceptions, but other than Drake May, I have no trust in the rest of the Patriots team. While the Bears, Caleb Williams is okay, but I like that Bears defense. I think that Bears defense can do well versus Drake May, so I'm gonna take the um, Bears here. Then you have the Steelers versus the Commanders. This one is a sneakily good game. The Steelers are coming off a bye. They've been really good. Their offense has played a lot better. Their defense good, but not as great as previous season. While Commanders, I honestly think their defense has been playing all right this season, especially adding Lattimore now. And that offense is very potent. We know how Jaden Daniels is. This one's gonna be tight. This one's gonna be a very good game. I do think Jaden Daniels will be able to crack that Steelers defense. I'm gonna take the Commanders here. Then you have the Jaguars versus the Vikings. Jaguars not a good team. Their defense isn't good. Their offense has been playing better, but not great. While the Vikings, they bounced back last week, so I'm gonna take the Vikings here. I think they're more well-rounded. Then you have the Cardinals versus the Jets. Oh, this one, I don't really know. The Cardinals, they've been playing better the last 2 weeks. Their offense did great versus that Bears defense. Their Cardinals defense has been playing decent. While the Jets, they did get the win over the Texans. Their defense is still good, but not like top five good. And their offense is kind of eh. I do think Cardinals have a big home field advantage. I think that Jets defense this year has been kind of overrated. And I think the Cardinals offense has been kind of underrated. I don't think the Jets can stop Kyler Murray from scrambling or James Conner, so I'm going to take the Cardinals here. Then you have the Texans versus the Lions. This would be a very good game if the Texans were super injured right now. Texans, I don't think Nico is gonna play this game. Obviously, Diggs is still out. The Texans offense is just not the same without Nico. The Texans defense is good, but not carrying good. While the Lions, they've been like a buzzsaw. Their offense has been elite, and I see that continuing. So I'm gonna take the Lions here. Then you have the Monday night game, the Dolphins versus the Rams. This one could be a surprisingly good game. The Rams are starting to get healthy a little bit on offense. However, their defense is not that good, especially in the secondary. While the Dolphins with Tua back, their offense looks a lot better, but similar to the Rams with those injuries on defense, Dolphins defense has not looked good. This one is very tight. I think it's going to be an offensive shootout. Neither defense can stop the opposing offense. However, I think the Rams have the more experienced quarterback and home field advantage, and Dolphins don't usually play well on the West Coast or in primetime games, so I'm going to take the Rams here. And you have the Panthers versus the Giants. Another tank ball. This one's flip a coin. I'm gonna take the Panthers here. They have more momentum ish. And this one's gonna get Dable fired. Then you have the Saints versus the Falcons. Saints sold. They lost Lattimore. They fired Dennis Allen. This one could definitely be a trap game for the Falcons. Usually teams that fire their head coach usually have a good like first game, and the Falcons are definitely a team that I think will lose this type of game. However, Kirk Cousins, he's an experienced quarterback. That Falcons defense is alright. I really want to pick the upset here. I really want to pick the Saints. I have to go with the Falcons here. You have the Bucks versus the Niners. Bucks played tight versus the Chiefs. The Bucks offense is still good despite losing both Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, but that Bucks defense isn't great. While the Niners coming off of a bye, I think CMC is playing, and if CMC is playing, I gotta take the Niners here. I think that Niners defense is still really good, so I'm gonna take the Niners. Then you have the Cowboys versus the Eagles. Cowboys just lost Dak for like a month. Eagles win despite Nick Sirianni. Similar to the Bills, I think the Eagles team just does not look as good as their record is. The Cowboys, I think starting Cooper Rush will actually get them the win. This one's gonna divisional game, and I'm gonna pick the upset. I think the Cowboys are somehow gonna beat the Eagles because of some Nick Sirianni stupid mistake. So there you have my NFL Week 10 predictions.